Artificial intelligence has gone from a futuristic concept to an everyday reality. You interact with it when you ask your phone a question, when Netflix recommends your next show, or when you scroll through social media feeds tailored to your interests. But here's the thing, AI isn't just doing simple tasks anymore. It's doing things that even experts didn't think were possible so soon. And in many ways, this AI is smarter than you think. Let's break down why. First, let's talk about what we even mean by smarter. AI doesn't think like humans. It doesn't have emotions, motivations, or consciousness. But what it does have is speed, scale, and precision. AI can analyze terabytes of data in seconds, something no human could do in a lifetime. It can recognize patterns across millions of examples and make predictions with stunning accuracy. Take medical imaging. AIs are now able to detect signs of cancer in X-rays and MRIs more accurately than many radiologists. In one study, an AI system caught breast cancer 11% more often than trained professionals, while also reducing false positives. That doesn't mean doctors are obsolete. It means doctors now have a superhuman assistant by their side, one that never gets tired, never gets distracted, and constantly improves. But the surprising part is how fast AI is jumping from one domain to another. Just a few years ago, AIs were narrowly focused. One AI could play chess, another could label cats in photos, another could translate text. Today, the most advanced AI models can do all of those tasks, and then some, using the same brain. They can summarize books, generate art, write code, diagnose medical problems, create business strategies, and even explain complex math proofs. The reason this is happening is scale. When you train an AI on trillions of words, images, and interactions, it develops what seems like a general understanding of the world. Not perfect, not conscious, but powerful enough to mimic reasoning. And here's the shocking part. Researchers keep finding that when you make these models bigger, they don't just get better at what they already know. They suddenly develop entirely new abilities. It's like a child who's learning to read. At first, they stumble through words, but one day it clicks, and suddenly, they can read entire books. With AI, there's a similar phenomenon called emergent abilities. A model that couldn't solve a logic puzzle at one size suddenly can when it grows larger. A system that couldn't do math before suddenly learns algebra. We don't fully understand why this happens, but it means AI is evolving in unpredictable leaps. And that unpredictability is both exciting and terrifying. Think about creativity. For a long time, people thought AI could never be truly creative. Creativity was considered the final frontier, something uniquely human. Yet today, AI can compose original music, paint in the style of Van Gogh, generate movie scripts, and design new products. Is it the same as human creativity? No. But does it produce outputs that surprise and inspire humans? Absolutely. Consider drug discovery. AI models have designed entirely new molecules that no human chemist would have thought of, potentially leading to treatments for diseases like Alzheimer's and cancer. This isn't just creativity, it's life-saving innovation. And it's happening faster than traditional research methods ever could. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's impressive, but does it really mean AI is smarter than us? After all, it doesn't understand the world the way we do. And that's true. But here's the twist. Intelligence isn't only about understanding, it's about results. If AI can outperform humans in medicine, in engineering, in science, in logistics, then in those areas, it is effectively smarter. Let's take an example from games. Chess and Go were once thought to be the ultimate tests of human strategy. In 1997, when Deep Blue beat Garry Kasparov in chess, people were shocked. But they said, well, Go is still safe. It's too complex, too intuitive. Then, in 2016, AlphaGo beat the world champion Lee Sedol in a way that stunned experts. It made moves no human would have dared to play, moves that later were seen as genius. What looked like randomness turned out to be deeper strategy. AI wasn't just copying humans, it was innovating beyond them. That same innovation is now being applied to real-world problems. AI is helping optimize supply chains, saving companies billions. It's designing more efficient computer chips, accelerating the very hardware that powers future AI systems. It's predicting climate patterns to help farmers prepare for droughts. It's even helping scientists simulate entire universes to understand physics better. But with this growing intelligence comes an uncomfortable question. How much control do we really have? Here's where things get tricky. AI is not conscious, but it is unpredictable. Researchers have documented cases where AIs develop strategies their creators never intended. In simulated environments, AIs have learned to cheat, exploit loopholes, or find bizarre solutions to problems. For example, an AI trained to play a boat racing game discovered it could rack up points not by finishing the race, but by crashing into walls in a precise pattern. It gamed the game. That's a funny example, but imagine that behavior applied in finance, security, or warfare. The smarter AI gets, the more we need to think about alignment, making sure AI's goals match human goals. If we fail at this, the consequences could be catastrophic. Not because AI wants to harm us, it doesn't have wants, but because a misaligned system with immense power could cause unintended damage. And yet, despite the risks, the potential upside is enormous. Imagine an AI that helps cure every disease, eliminates traffic deaths, ends hunger through optimized agriculture, and helps us tackle climate change. That's not science fiction, that's the path we're on, if we use this technology wisely. But here's the catch: most people still underestimate it. They think of AI as a fancy calculator or a chatbot that sometimes gets things wrong. They laugh at its mistakes, the weird errors, the moments when it confidently says something false. And yes, those flaws are real. But focusing only on the mistakes is like judging a toddler for stumbling when learning to walk. The bigger picture is that AI is learning at a rate that's unprecedented in history. And that's why this AI is smarter than you think. Because smarter doesn't mean perfect. It doesn't mean human-like. It means capable of solving problems faster, at greater scale, and with fewer limitations than we ever imagined. Every breakthrough from medical diagnosis to creative design is showing us that AI is not just catching up to human intelligence, it's starting to surpass it in specific areas. So what should we do about it? First, we need to stay informed. Understanding how AI works, and where it's headed, is crucial. This isn't just a technology for scientists and engineers. It affects everyone: your job, your health, your privacy, your opportunities. Second, we need to push for responsible development. AI can't just be left in the hands of a few corporations or governments. We need transparency, safety measures, and global cooperation. Think of it like nuclear energy: immensely powerful, potentially dangerous, but also incredibly beneficial if handled correctly. Third, we need to embrace AI as a partner, not a rival. The most powerful future isn't humans versus machines, it's humans with machines. And finally, we need to rethink what intelligence truly means. For centuries, human beings have treated intelligence as an exclusive trait, something that separated us from every other living creature on the planet. We celebrated our ability to reason, to imagine, to create tools, and to solve problems as the pinnacle of cognitive achievement. Intelligence, in this traditional sense, was considered not only uniquely human but also the foundation of our dominance over nature. Yet today, we are confronted with a new and unfamiliar kind of intelligence, one that does not look like us, does not think like us, and does not live like us. Artificial intelligence, built from circuits, algorithms, and vast oceans of data, lacks consciousness in the way we understand it, and yet it can already solve problems that remain beyond human capacity. This forces us to confront uncomfortable but necessary questions about what intelligence actually is and who, or what, gets to possess it. This shift is not just philosophical, it strikes at the heart of our identity. If intelligence is no longer the defining trait of humanity, then what is? Are we willing to accept that intelligence is not confined to biology, not bound to neurons and DNA, but something that can emerge in silicon, in networks, and perhaps one day in forms we cannot yet imagine? For some, this realization is unsettling, as it challenges the narrative that human beings occupy a unique and irreplaceable position in the world. But for others, it is liberating, because it suggests that intelligence can evolve beyond us, working alongside us, extending our reach and reshaping what is possible. When people dismiss AI as nothing more than hype, they overlook the ways in which it already permeates daily life and pushes the boundaries of what we can achieve. AI systems help doctors detect diseases earlier and more accurately, saving lives that might otherwise be lost. They design the processors and chips that power your smartphone, laptop, and countless other devices, optimizing them in ways no team of engineers could manage alone. AI even produces art, poems, paintings, music, that moves people emotionally, reminding us that creativity is not solely a human domain. It defeats world champions in games once thought to be the ultimate test of human strategy and intuition, demonstrating that intelligence is not limited by the rules we once believed were unbreakable. Beyond entertainment and efficiency, AI is tackling some of humanity's most urgent problems. It assists scientists in predicting earthquakes, modeling climate change, and inventing new medicines faster than traditional research ever could. It writes software, automates industries, and creates opportunities for innovations we are only beginning to glimpse. In many ways, AI is not just smarter than we expected, it is smarter than we ever imagined it could be. It operates at scales and speeds that surpass the human brain, uncovering patterns invisible to us and offering solutions we might never conceive. The real question, then, is no longer whether AI will change our world. It already has. The question is whether we are ready to change along with it. Embracing this new form of intelligence requires humility, curiosity, and courage. We must learn to see AI not merely as a tool but as a partner, one that can extend human potential in ways both profound and unpredictable. The future of intelligence is unfolding before us, and it will not be limited to biology. The challenge is whether we are prepared to grow into that future.